I'm watching you guys. You better not ban Galio.
Well, here we go. Looks like Aatrox is going to be the first thing very swiftly. Banning that one away, not willing to give that into the hands of Crazy.
Again, as long as the Galio is not banned against BBQ, my hopes continue. Give me that Birdio skin in the mid lane. Honestly, if Fly wants to play it, he can play it too. Also hilarious against BBQ Olivers, their world skin that they did not earn by winning worlds.
Did you ever tell the fans about the Birdio BBQ?
No, I didn't. But
at the final.
Actually, yes, I did on the last Spo TV broadcast. But yes, there was in fact someone dressed as Birdio. And you know what? They didn't have to do much to complete the cosplay. They literally just put a BBQ logo on the exact skin.
Oh, I was talking about the BBQ chicken stand outside the venue that had Birdio on the
no, I know.
On top.
It's literally just the skin with no modifications and a BBQ logo. So it is literally the most skin ever. As there will not be a ban. We also focus on funnel things that are banned. We don't see Braum, but we do see Kai'Sa and Taliyah. I know that sounds weird, but Taliyah bot lane is one of the best lanes you can run. With the funnel, Braum's still up. A lot of things up. The Zoe, one we always talk about. Zoe versus Galio chances increasing. If it is not banned away, BBQ decide they do ban away the Zoe. So at least for game one, the Galio seems a little bit lower priority.
I'm hoping for some Aurelion Soul here from Fly. Always a treat to see. Hasn't really been bringing it out that often so far.
Is it Sejuani first pick for Ambition?
Oh, no, it's going to be the Rakan for Core JJ.
And we know what this could herald. This could herald the mid lane Xayah Rakan to go along with the bot lane. So, very high on the Rakan. I actually don't know if I like this because Morgana is open and absolutely 100% should be locked in by BBQ. We actually saw Rakan into Morgana and, yep, 10 out of 10 analysts agree. Bad matchup for the Rakan.
And so, there you have it.
There we go.
Very well could be, you know, the bot lane Morgana not in the support role, so it could be Ghost piloting that one.
But then you could double and do the Xayah Rakan mid lane and also flex the Morgana all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's time for Ambition to reach his one true calling. He's going to play Sejuani in a move that surprises nobody.
And the crowd went mild. Xayah going to be locked in here for Ruler. We'll see if they're going to keep this standard and just put him in the bot lane.
Bark lane, yeah.
Bark lane. Dog champion.
I don't think we're going to have any dog champs here. No Nasus, no Cotmore. Or both of them gone. BBQ. See what they want to round out their first round with. Usually you'd expect jungler, and you can go for a lower tempo jungler because you're against Sejuani. Nocturne banned away, so just we'll go for the Trundle. We've seen this matchup almost every match day. In fact, every match day of 8-12, it may be the matchup unless we see Sejuani bans come out.
We saw it twice in a row in our first series.
And we saw it yesterday.
So, yeah, it's been very prevalent. You see the Sejuani, you want the Subjugate, you get the Trundle.
Now the question is, if you say, I wonder if it's Xayah Rakan mid lane, what do you even ban? I guess you have to ban top laners, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. So, with Sejuani there, it becomes more unlikely for it to be the Xayah Rakan mid lane, I guess. Could still happen. We saw some weird flexes happening in some of the LCS regions, but probably just Xayah Rakan as a power duo for JJ and Ruler. Go through the bans here. BBQ focusing on top lane to try and shield the Mundo. Aatrox could be, well, is already banned, and they've banned Darius now. So I wonder where they go as a third and final ban. Could just be a utility tank, another initiator, and the Ornn if they want it. That'd be very standard for QV.
Taking their time, running down the clock. And it's going to be the Ornn in the end, so not too shocking.
We're always waiting for QV to be like, lol, I can play those carries again and break out the carries. He hasn't played in a very long time.
The Camille yet again. He was smashing people left and right.
Is there a weirder player than QV when it comes to actual champion pool? Because literally he forgets that he plays hyper carries for a while. Then he just plays them and you're like, how could I have predicted this? He didn't play them when they were open for so many patches. They're open again. See what's happening. And Fly also has been pretty limited in terms of champion pool. A lot of Lulu, but Lulu priority is down. He's played a couple of Braum games, the Zoe. His only other picks are Aurelion Soul, which is conspicuously open in this game. And we would personally love to see our Resident Dragon come back onto it. Or something new, really. He's played Aurelia in solo queue, but not in competitive play. Galio's his only other pick. So with the Aurelia blind pick on the side of BBQ, is it going to be Galio against them?
Okay, maybe he'll take the Birdio
Well, I think you would have to, right?
He'll beat BBQ.
Oh my god, a carry!
Oh!
He did it!
Sorry for everyone's ears, but
Yes.
we're excited for QV.
Woo!
Also, I was caught off guard because Papa started yelling, so I just made noises.
Oh, speaking of yelling, just do it. Wait,
Please.
where'd the Morgana be going?
Just do it.
What are we doing over here then? Morgana wouldn't be the carry in this matchup. It could happen. Morgana for Ghost, given Ghost struggles, wouldn't be the worst. It would also unlock the Blitzcrank, but they're not going to do it.
Oh, sad boys. So Varus for Ghost, meaning Morgana going to be in the support role there for Ignar. Kennen in the top for QV.
Well, we're going to have some fun knock-up parties going on
boy.
here, as everyone barring the Xayah is perfect to set up that beautiful ultimate.
Slicing Maelstrom into the back line with the hero's entrance on top from Fly. It is just going to be a bouncy castle and a half.
How 100% is it that Fly is running Vertigo? It's pretty 100%.
It's like a 99.8% chance.
Well, let's get the confirmation, but these are going to be the comps.
If he doesn't take it, it's BM.
We'll wait and see what QV builds in terms of top lane. Usually you go AD against the Mundo. They have a lot of magic damage elsewhere, but then you really only have one dealer type of damage in the Xayah, so it's actually tricky here if you go AP. Spirit Visage is the most obvious.
And outside of the video,
He's in the back always.
he is. He's here. Much like Pawn is here, but he's not even listed as a roster member at the moment.
I don't know about this Chroma. Whoa,
That's
that's
a nice-
good sign for Tempt. Very tempted from that sign. So now we're seeing the other sign. We haven't seen Fly dance. It's too active a level 1
Yeah.
for Chicken Dance. That's very disappointing.
Really want that with the
I gotta
Alistar
admit
yet
though,
again.
Fly has been our biggest in-combat dancer. We've seen him dancing around Nexuses, dancing in happiness and sadness. So Chicken Dance may still be coming, as the Chicken Dance is what BBQ have had to do to make themselves feel good after playing Gen G in the past, because sadly, so far, the record is bad.
I like how we go back up to the record, even though we already looked at it before the game started.
Have you noticed we always full zoom on Vertigo when it's in a match?
It's amazing. The observers know that it's just the perfect skin.
And yet they didn't catch a Chicken Dance. That I don't agree with. In lane against Aurelia, you might just Q, and in the 10 seconds or so between the cooldown, could consider a Chicken Dance.
For JJ and Ruler, sitting in the brush. Tormented Soil out from Ignar, looking to hunt them down with the Summonary, but he's not going to get the hit, but we'll just go ahead. Exit the brush, get ready to farm up.
So given there's no Chicken Dance to fawn over, we should talk about the comps. And for Gen G, it's really a tempo draft. Seems like they are going to be going AD cannon, because you press the attack. It doesn't necessarily force it, but it's usually an indicator of that. The draft is very much, let's fight early, even earlier than I expected in the bot lane. Morgana level 1, famously very weak, so you take W.
Dunking him down to half HP, the potion is going to be rolling through. Still got 2 more, so Ignar is going to be quite all right for the moment.
They probably lose in both 1v1s in the side lane late, as Aurelia and Mundo both have a happy time against Cannon.
I like it. The Gathering Storm on QV.
The Galio also doesn't do too much, just once again does seem to be indicative of 80 Cannon. Given that reality and the fact that they're largely about wombo and one true damage dealer, it's a lot about mid-game execution. It's a lot about making the hero's entrance work. They have just the biggest amount of initiation, so it's about choosing the right time and getting big objectives from the wombo that they have.
Trick doing all right so far. Got both Scuttle Crabs. Put him at decently ahead here so far as he gets ready to hit level 4.
It's kind of an interesting mind exercise, because you look at Gen G and you say, well, yes, there are timings where it's easy to execute. The team fight initiation is massive, right? If you do well in lanes and then you rock up with some control wards and turn, it's pretty easy to execute. Meanwhile, for BBQ, 1-3-1, which is traditionally very difficult to execute at the professional level and not get collapsed or just lose 3 members elsewhere, is what BBQ have taken. So the argument of, if you're not doing very well, should you go easy to execute or not, is one that's always fun to consider. Is Ruler.
Yeah, he's going to get locked down here. Shield in onto Ghost to prevent any sort of root
One
coming
more
through the
auto.
Blade Caller, and yeah, just not going to be enough there. Even with that improved Ignite coming through, Ruler's going to have to go back to base. That's both Summoner spells down for him.
I believe he was down to about 24 health, so I think he would have died.
Oh, that's going to be a binding in here. Tormented Soil down for JJ dashing away.
Morgana
Trying
auto
to catch
attack
this
range.
wave, but one more binding.
Morgana auto attack range about 425, so maybe would have been too short on the flash, but I certainly would have considered it. Ghost gets an amazing back timing, obviously, and may not even have to use his teleport for this one. So he gets a free back, a couple of longswords, and, well, we can see what's going on as double longsword does herald the Blade the Ruin King. Probably not the lethality that we saw in our first game because no Arcane Comment.
Yeah. I think if Ghost was thinking about running that, he saw the first series and was like, oh, I should never do that.
You just know it was like smashing scrims, and then first person to run it was just, unfortunately, in a very one-sided series. That was Pilot. Definitely wasn't about the lethality build on the Varus. Didn't help when the rest of his team was behind, but didn't hurt necessarily or cause the problems. QV in the top lane. Again, not pigeonholed into AP, but heavily expected to be going into the AD cannon, given the Keystone choice and in general, the scenario against the Mundo.
Ignar going to be spotted out. Scrying Plant rolling through. Tell if Trick got spotted. I don't think he was.
Still hard to lock down Core JJ, who has everything up.
But Ruler has nothing at the moment.
Flash Binding would certainly do the trick. No pun intended.
The Tormented Soil. Core JJ dashing to the side. Ruler going to get locked down. TP coming through, but it's not going to save his life. That's first blood going over to Ghost. TP going to be canceled in the end. And Ambition arriving just a little bit too late to try to keep his ADC alive.
Nice pillar from Trick. That was very well done. Usually don't lead with that. They didn't even have to invest anything. That's the awesome thing for BBQ. They used no summoners to make that happen. Sort of lane you can return to again and again. Varus Morgana, we saw this lane lose for banging effort yesterday, and I talked about how it's a heavily one-sided lane. Is Ambition couldn't afford to take too many more rounds of damage. Varus Morgana is about one of the most oppressive 2v2s. Morgana is the lane counter to Rakan, as we knew, with Xayah Rakan against Kate Morg in the spring season. So shouldn't be surprised that with the champions and the laning phase not being turned by a gank, BBQ actually getting a nice lead around bot.
A solid start for them. First blood onto the Varus, especially as the Bilgewater Cutlass ready to go.
Compared to the budget Bilgewater and the Cull coming through.
Yeah.
From Xayah, so things are definitely bad bot side. Don't get any better as the lane goes on. Probably going to be a lot of investment banking by Ignar on the Morgana, who stayed in lane to try to ensure it wasn't pushed up by the Xayah. The AD has begun for the cannon. I wonder where the build goes. Blade of the Ruin King.
It's been a while since we've seen it. Yeah, maybe against the Mundo, maybe you try to go for the Blade of the Ruin King.
Might even consider a Blade of the Ruin King Rageblade build. Possible on the cannon. There's been lots of interesting different build types on cannon as the metas have gone on. I remember back in the day, there was first item Blade of the Ruin King into full AP. That was a long time ago. We're talking Season 2, but there's been so many different cannon builds. There's also the famous build of Blade of the Ruin King Hurricane Mallet. Mallet was nerfed since then, but that's always a build people have considered for just CC cannon.
What's your favorite old build that doesn't exist anymore? Mine's AD Twisted Fate.
Was that GG era AD Twisted Fate bot lane?
Yeah.
Nice.
As an AD carry, used to play that one quite a bit in solo queue.
Actually makes me feel bad that I often go in the Twitch chat for LCK1 and Big Fat LP is there and no one knows who he is. I realized that his relevant period was a very long time ago.
It's been a long, long time.
Yep. Played in LCS, but not really in his most traditional era. But yes, he was an AD Twisted Fate off-meta player in the bot lane when he wasn't mid-laning as a Nivea and friends back in the day. But that's the question. Off-meta build. I'll have to think about it. I'll get back to you.
For now, it's just going to be Gen G looking to slow things down as they currently find themselves behind by about 600 gold. Flying Ambition rotating up towards the top side of the map.
Making things happen not bot lane is recommended for the side of Gen G. Turret diving a Mundo, even with just base damage, is very possible this early. Here we go.
Walking up, that's going to be red buff going over to Trick, but he just walked into a storm. A literal one of CC coming through, and he will pay for that one with his life, so buff transfer going to be complete as Ambition ends up with it in the end.
That's a really, really bad map read by Trick, because mid lane had left a while ago, top lane had left a while ago, and ganking bot lane was so low value for Gen G.
Oh, sorry, Fly got it.
The where could they possibly be question had to be further in the mind of Trick. As we do look at the LCK total, this should be higher, especially in matchups like this, but Varus Morgana, I think, will increasingly become a common duo.
Well, Tempt can land the stuns, but it's not going to do much to deter Fly from sticking around in the mid lane.
Zyrakan.
Already quite tanky.
Zyrakan flex lane. I think we'll be seeing a lot more Zyrakan than we were early in the season when other duos were overlooked and a lot of bruises were being played. If you're joining us, we are on patch 8.12, as you can see in the bottom left, and the big takeaway for that and the reason why we'll see more marksmen, in fact, it's been almost all marksmen outside of the bot lane Morgana in the carry role recently, is Banner of Command was removed, and for a lot of bruiser lanes, Mordekaiser lanes, even Darius bot lanes, but multiple bruiser comps, the only way you could actually siege and close the game was multiple banners. With no banners, you kind of have to team fight, and that means that marksmen are coming back.
Yeah, I'm still a little caught up here. That was really odd. Fly able to auto-attack over the wall to get the blue buff.
Just be a range thing. I know it was pathing, interestingly, but it did happen to Gilios. True facts. No remake for that one. So the bruiser meta seems to be a lot more rare. We did see yesterday Viper playing Vladimir in the bot lane. I think the mages can situationally be there, but it's down to simplest way to play the game is to have the insurance of an ADC, so why not an ADC?
Well, Cube just ripping this turret apart. No cull for the cannon in the top lane, as Ruler keeps working on his, just over halfway done. Ambition's going to start up that Rift Herald, but Ward comes over the wall, so Trick spots it out. Temp tries to do some damage. Can't really get much done.
Bomb numbers are good. Rite of Ages was early after the kill came in for Fly on that invade.
There's no ult on Crazy.
And he is eminently diveable.
Yep.
Oh!
Okay. Nice flash away.
Nice.
But we'll just be sacking the turret in the end here as Ambition and Cube look to get this first brick and swing themselves into a gold lead.
I would love to see that one slow down because it did not look like he flashed in time, and yet it was about as calculated as could be, so well played Crazy. But this is the reason you consider AD Cannon. You just play a high-tempo game. We mentioned it needed to be mid-game for Gen G. Mundo can't really do anything when you just auto-attack him, force an ult, and then auto-attack his turret. So that's a turret down. Gallia ult's still not used, waiting for the first hero's entrance of the game.
Might be used over here in this Rift Herald, and Trick is just going to go ahead and charge in yet again. Traded back a decent amount of damage there, but Ruler's still going to take the brunt of it.
They want to delay this to BBQ because bot lane turret will just go down in the 2v2, so good delay by BBQ.
Gonna push over and maybe look to take this for themselves. The pillar coming down and Crazy rejoining. Herald going low, Ambition maybe looking for the steal.
Fly walks up.
1300 left onto this one. The TP now coming through. It's taking damage. Fly looking for the taunt. Not going to find it. Rift Herald still sitting at 700. That's going to be Ambition getting taken out. You able to scoop that one out, and then Fly is just going to go down. Tries to TP away. Will not be able to make it. BBQ come out on top.
BBQ held all the cards with that one because of the way bot lane was. Ghost could just leave lane, teleport in, get the kill on the Rift Herald. They do take it. That means that Gen G lose a lot of the frustration that represented the bot lane. However, it was teleport AD carry versus no teleport, and it seems like Shelly is going to most likely get the double charge, but certainly BBQ will get the mid lane turn.
Well, Cube look to stop that one in its tracks.
Distracting Shelly.
Yep, goes ahead. Gets the hit into the back, so not going to have the double charge. So the inner turret, actually did get it right at the end. Just saw it on the mini-map. So a decent amount of damage going through. Couldn't stop it. BBQ is going to find themselves up 1.2 thousand gold.
Now we talk about ease of access, ease of play, initiation comp versus a 1-3-1 that's starting to get souped up. Speaking of souped up,
coming through. That is just going to be Ignar getting absolutely destroyed. Featherstorm to dodge out on that Chain of Corruption. Wonderfully done there by Ruler, but now he's going to be low on mana.
Very assertive as well.
Could not use that Blade Caller.
There was a control ward in that brush, and they still make the play. It was blind from Core JJ, but informed. Nicely done from him. Just catches Ignar unawares.
In the meantime, Ambition wrapping around the backside will spot out Trick. Which means that Core JJ and Ruler not going to be sticking around trying to shove in this lane here into the tower. But good pick-off coming through. And Ignar just not able to react fast enough. Had the flash, had Black Shield ready to go, so he didn't get knocked up, but can't pull the trigger.
Not sure if that was just something where research was done and he had a tendency to stand forward in the brush. Usually you'd expect someone to stand forward in the brush with a control ward. Nice prediction, a Core GG move. That's been overdue for one series now. As Kennen has gone for the I'm just going to make Mundo's life the worst build and gone Executioner's Calling on the way to his Blade of the Room.
Tower still, though, in the bot lane, despite the nice play coming through, will be taken by BBQ. They move to 2-1. In that regard, still up by 1.2 thousand gold.
And I'm in love with the build from Ruler. We saw this from Deft as well. Stormrazor is the rush. Stormrazor newly buffed on patch 8.12, a huge one-item power spike for the class that is purported to, especially if you want to go for a quick marksman, need 3 items. Stormrazor as a 1 item is hugely powerful, and there's a bit of negative synergy with the passive, or the unique passive it has, compared to standard, i.e. itemization. But how much it gives early in a comp that wants to fight and win early suits the comp just right. Stormrazor plus a Zeke's Convergence from the Rakan is actually insanely early game focused, but it's exactly what Gen G need.
Where JJ pushing up towards the mid lane is spotted out on a ward, right on the back side of that red pit. We'll be able to clear out this control, however, as Temp just keeps dashing his way through the minions, getting that clear. Fly falling behind a little bit here, 20 CS down just about. As we see the rotation up to the top side here for Ruler.
In case people were wondering, the Stormrazor buff was a lot bigger than the Infinity Edge one. Giving something an extra 5 AD is actually a relevant amount of gold value added, because we know that 350 gold buys 10 AD, so we're talking about 175 gold worth of extra, plus it's doubling the movement speed you get from the proc. So in general, it's a lot of extra power added to an item that already built well. Builds basically like an old Infinity Edge with an attack speed dagger thrown in for the old critical strike. And so now on Xayah, again, very, very formidable the moment we see the Rakan completing that Zeke's Convergence.
Ruler just looking to farm up, trying to catch up as much as he can to Ghost here. As Storm Ranger doesn't have to worry about getting the Executioner's calling, as we see that QV has picked that one up. We'll go ahead and take a look at the total damage dealt, and it's going to be QV, of course, wailing away on Crazy this entire time.
One visit to kill trick, but other than that, yes, entirely just let's keep Mundo honest. Mundo needs another item, and then he will give no Mundos about QV, so that is coming. I feel like about 8 minutes away, probably something like Warmogs and a Bramble Vest, and then honestly QV will do nothing in the 1v1.
Yep.
Whatever item choice he goes.
It'll just become a CC pot for the team fights. Try to get that Slicing Maelstrom down onto as many people on the side of BBQ as he possibly can.
Question is, does he have enough damage in the other lanes to just be a utility bot? There's a number, again, a time in the game where I would imagine when Crazy has those items, maybe also the damage will be starting to fall away from the side of Gen G. See how much ability power Fly can load onto his build. Just a Rod of Ages so far.
A little bit more aggressive if he's not going for the Abyssal Mask.
Abyssal Mask no one really goes for anymore. Not even Swain is building it. Rod of Ages just can get you through most of the humps because of the little bit of regen there, and Merc Tread's Rod of Ages kind of replace any Abyssal Mask shenanigans. Sort of game where Kennen will at least enjoy it, and Sejuani too, but yes, Abyssal Mask not built much in summer of 2018.
I think Ian built it in the first series, but I could be mistaken about that. But either way, a lot of Ages come through. We'll see where he wants to go, if he wants to try to be a bit more tanky for the team, or if he's going to try to pick up some extra damage.
Just remember, the longer this game is in a lull, the moment this game continues to go longer and longer and Mundo finds extra giant belts and the gold lead doesn't grow, that's good news BBQ. So it's all about BBQ losing the minimum. Not something they've been very good at this season, but something where if they're trading turrets, that does suit BBQ, as Gen G are very one-note.
Yeah, it's still going to be 3-2, so still keeping that lead in. QV looking to shove Crazy back, but it's a Mundo. He's only going to be able to do so much, but this does allow him to get some free hits onto these towers and really chunk them down quickly. But that side of the map, in the jungle, it's going to be completely dark, so no wards to be had. Means that he doesn't want to play that far forward.
But Aurelia is happy to play the side lane, which is where she finds herself in, working towards Steric's second item. You're just joining us for a second series. We are 8-12, so Steric's and Trinity Force don't have the amazing additive bonuses together they have had previously. It's bonus AD, not base AD, so you don't get extra Trinity Force damage from the Steric's.
Warmog's complete, so any damage that QV can get in onto Crazy, she's going to be completely negligible as he can just back off, wait for that passive to come in, walk back through and have full HP yet again. Doesn't even need the ultimate.
And that's the thing is, maybe you blow the ultimate the first time, but the second time it's the Warmogs. The amount of abilities you need to use to blow the ultimate means you have nothing compared to the Warmogs when it comes to regen. So the out-sustain is definitely on the way in the top. I think a Bramble Vest would, again, kind of end the laning phase in some way when it comes to interactive, fun gameplay for the QV. But always going to be the chance of the Wombo. Very easy to take down Varus Morgana, only one black shield between the two of them. We can see if Genji can pull that off, because since they invaded Trick, the game pace has slowed down, and BBQ are actually still in a gold run.
Yeah. Haven't been able to grow it massively, but they have at least kept their heads above the water. QV now back up to the top side yet again, working on yet another inner tower. Mid still standing here for BBQ, though. Nice bastion of hope for them. Ruler would love to knock that down. He's already got the wave clear coming through. But going up against the Varus and a Morgana means that he's not really going to be able to get much shove in onto the tower. Temp looking for the root, will not find it. TP's going to come down for JJ, quite far forward, can dash to the side. The Ruler maybe getting caught, that's going to be the ult coming through from Temp. They try to get this catch, Glacial Prison down in on the Trick. He'll go golden, Fly looking for the taunt, only finds Crazy.
Watch QV, he's thinking about it.
Very far up into the front line, QV.
Remember, he's an AD cannon, he's not looking for the burst.
Has the Slicing Maelstrom ready to go. For now, though, Genji just going to be taking the helm here when it comes down to finishing off this Ocean Drake. Poke coming down from Ghost, trying to get as much in as he possibly can. Stun in on the Fly, two-man knockup, now Slicing Maelstrom rolling through the CC train from Genji, just ripping apart BBQ, 2 kills. Spilling over as Fly finds one, Ocean Drake over to Genji. Just like that, it's 4-3, just behind a couple hundred gold.
Well executed by Genji. You saw that QV didn't just rush in the first time. AP Cannon goes in. AD Cannon waits for the spot. They waited till they had the right angle to get the maximum damage out of Ruler. They didn't ravage the enemy team, but they get 2 kills, and they're going to get a mid lane out of turret.
Yeah, that's going to be the lead really going over to Genji now as they stretch ahead just over 1,000 gold. QV bringing up the bot lane. We'll go ahead and take another look at this engage. Very well played by QV. Extremely patient.
It's much better and much happier to come in secondary afterwards. And the real story of team fights for now is, can Ruler free hit the back line or can he not? He needs to be able to leverage most of the damage. It is Zhonya's second from the Galio, not a max damage build. Maybe it will be Rage Blade from the cannon, but could still be the Hurricane as well. For now at least, Genji played that fight well. The base damage is still relevant. Temp dies, but once the Sterix is done, repeating that play again and again will get more and more difficult. The diminishing returns are real for Genji.
Good engage from Core JJ. That's exactly what we've come to expect from him on this Recon pickup. And a lot of damage there coming out of QV in that last team fight, even with being an AD cannon.
Damage very backloaded, and because there was other CC, people were sitting on to some of the Slicing Maelstrom damage. Again, base damage is early game very, very relevant when the resists aren't built on most champions, but as the game goes on, expect that cannon to have a very different role unless he becomes purely a CC buff. Tried to see the eventual lane assignment of Aurelia vs Cannon, as I was able to guess the Rage Blade cannon correctly.
Yeah.
Very much about killing Mundo. Means he has some side lane impact because he starts getting the double proc of the current HP damage from the Blade of the Ruin King. Same build as the enemy Varus. So that's pretty cool.
Ambition looking to push forth. There's that control ward. And we'll spot out everybody from BBQ. He's just waiting for the gank. Good ward control here from BBQ around the Baron.
But because they have teleport on Cannon, you have to be assertive here as BBQ.
Going to be finding down on the Fly, but doesn't really care that much. Corruption's going to come in just to try to pop the Galio, but he is still going to be fine. Hero's Entrance just going to take a short hop here over the wall. Keeps himself safe. In the meantime, Cannon knocking down this inner turret, but BBQ looking to start up the Baron potentially.
The 262 AD and 2 attack speed means he just rips through the turret. QV looking for his spot. Where's his TP ward? It's above or behind.
He's blocked as he comes down onto that control ward. Trick going to be the one getting engaged upon. Another knockup coming through from Core JJ, and Trick has to flash away. Baron going to be halted. Going to get the TP away from the cannon at least, so there's a consolation prize here for BBQ, and they don't lose anybody's life.
No wombos, but the consolation prize at the cost of an inner turret in the bot lane, so still successful. From the side of Genji, they were looking to delay. They knew that the cannon, with all the extra AD, the AP that stacks up as you auto-attack with the Rage Blade, will be able to make short work of that inner turret. Mundo returns. BBQ will have a similar window in about 35 seconds time when their teleport is up. Good usage from the side of Genji.
Good play, QV. Knowing when it's time to peel off, just in case BBQ was not bluffing with that Baron attempt. Better safe than sorry. Does join back in, but now has the QSS, so locking him down, preventing that Slicing Maelstrom from getting onto the carries is going to be that much more difficult here from the side of BBQ.
And catching him in a side lane when you might be tempted to send Ghost to gank him when the Baron setup is happening will not be as reliable. Ghost himself working on the BF sword. Hard to say where that's going. Could be a Stormrazor, could be into the Bloodthirster for double lifesteal and also a big shield. Unlikely to be IE, because there's no critical strike in the build.
2.1 attack speed right now for QV.
Maybe even just a GA for Ghost. I guess that's possible. GA is
Yeah,
a bit more loaded with stats than it was before, but more expensive also.
He's got 2 components already, so very well could just be that Guardian Angel getting completed, just to make sure that he's extra safe and gets another chance in the fight.
Then is there enough damage? Is always a query. We talked about how it's one true damage dealer on the side of Genji. Spoilers, there's 2. QV is definitely a damage dealer. Speaking of QV.
Can they catch him? Gonna be looking for it. Temp coming around the backside. QV right now trying to trade out against Crazy. Gets the stun in. Slicing Maelstrom to come down, and he is just gonna get popped. Doesn't get a chance to use that QSS, and he'll just melt.
No teleport on Tempt. Usually we see mid lane Aurelia with teleport. He had cleanse, so knew they would track the kill. There is no answering objective play by Genji on the top side. QV doesn't use flash. Very important takeaway there. Wants to hold on to that for a better spot. Would not have been able to escape. Mundo pushes up. Again, we feel like BBQ have more reliable options as the game goes on. Want to delay this game as much as possible. Whereas for Genji, a Baron play in the next 5 minutes would certainly be up their alley.
Just have to clear out some of that vision. Control ward up into the tri-brush would be a nice TP spot from a Crazy. They can get, well, there's no blast plan at the moment on the backside of the Baron pit, so if they could start that one up, Trick would have to walk around, couldn't flash into the backside, can't flash into the backside, so has to come through the front.
I didn't even notice this until now, but it's actually 5 stopwatches, only 1 broken on the side of BBQ. When you see this much AoE wombo, and with the increased power level of the stopwatch, the 8-minute time for coming online, it certainly has become more and more of an attractive buy. 5-0 in terms of them stopwatches. Again, in football, that's usually a good sign. BBQ walk up, they have to be careful. Rule is actually in the front.
Yeah, he's gonna get that root down on the Crazy. Shield from Morgana just a bit too late to prevent the root, but it's a Mundo, so I don't think BBQ really cares that much.
They're so out of position on the Cloud Drake that I guess they have to give it up. It's only a Cloud Drake, but they were posturing around Drake and they're now kind of meandering, so Ruler being in the front was actually smart. Kennen doesn't need any help taking down objectives with Rage Blade and Blade the Ruin King. It's just a freebie to the side of Genji.
Yep. Genji grouped in mid, just clearing out the waves, but that's about it. Not going to be able to apply any pressure onto the Baron just yet.
Not a worry though.
Rotating that way, looking for vision control.
This is just a repeat of what we saw BBQ do when the enemy teleport was up and theirs wasn't. I just feel like overall, when grouped, Genji made a smart Drake play. They've been able to maneuver around their soldiers in a way that's minimized the impact of the teleport advantage that BBQ have had for about a minute now. And now, finally, when Crazy starts in the side wave, Kennen almost has his teleport back up. So when it comes to those smaller variables, the smaller wins are being eked out by Genji.
Much slower game from the side of Genji here. Nearly 30 minutes in, 4-4, and only 1.1 thousand gold separating. This is our second place team up against tied for 9th at the moment.
It is also our previously 4-0 team that got crushed by KT trying to play themselves back into form. Be a bit more standard.
With Ambition on his 3rd game of the season.
Ambition's also there, and that means that we expect a tempo drop because Haru is usually the one leading the line when it comes to early game moves, so can't really be surprised if Genji kind of fall back into their Samsung Galaxy analysis of being a very defensive shield-based team, rather than the sword they are when good old Haru is in the line.
Trick spotting out for JJ, but getting the catch onto the Rakan. Probably not going to happen. Nice little juke there onto the binding. Core JJ going to be fine. The heals and the shield keeping him sustained. So TP's up now for both Ghost and Crazy. Ambition playing forward, but can only get hits in onto the window. Nothing too consequential so far from BBQ. Everybody comes grouping around. That's going to be the Glacial Prison out, but Crazy goes golden. In the meantime, Ruler ripping Trick apart. Knocks him down to half HP.
Got BBQ out of position. 5-man going topside here is BBQ.
Good inside track here onto the mid lane turret. Knock that down to half HP. Temp starting to dash around, looking for that opening. Chain Corruption down on a Core JJ, but he has the cleanse and keeps himself safe. Some good damage here so far from Gen G, but otherwise, no real benefits.
Positioning lead, some autos for QV, but no more. Only inching forward, slowly is Gen G. Actually, you have Zeke's convergence onto the cannon, amusingly. But there already is one onto the Xayah. So same build coming through. Comes to that Zeke's convergence, double Zeke's. That would have been a banner of command last patch, but no banner of command in 8-12.
Scuttle Crab this time going to be taken by the side of
Oh,
Gen G.
top side. I think Core JJ was revealed.
Yeah, I think he just got spotted out, but BBQ not interested in going for the pinch. They'll just go ahead, kite back, and keep defending this mid lane tower, clear out some of these wards.
Core JJ revealing himself was pretty unfortunate there. If you're looking for Gen G to ratchet up the game, that would have been the big engage angle that BBQ hadn't scouted. Back away as the Gathering Storm is online. Thank you, OGN.
All right, Ruler also getting some additional AD as the Infinity Edge becomes complete here at 30 minutes.
We mentioned a little bit of negative synergy with Storm Razor, but still a very powerful item, and overall, it's going to be a high DPS build. Probably the only way you can get away with crit itemization is to cheat the curve with the Storm Razor and then fall back into it with the IE.
Gang Crush here from BBQ. Ambition putting down a control ward, binding to come out, and that's just going to go ahead and reveal the hand. Not going to be getting much now. We're just going to have a bit of a standoff here in the mid lane.
It's almost impossible for BBQ to make a bait play because they don't own the Rift Scuttle, and there's control wards for Gen G all around this area.
Sun going to be coming through there from the Glacial Prison in on a Crazy, knocked down a half HP, and they will get the Mundo ult out. Temp playing forward, ult comes down. It's going to be Ambition sitting in the middle here. Crazy still nearly gets taken out even with the ultimate, and here comes QV! 4-man stun coming through from the Slicing Maelstrom. Quickness into the backside as Core JJ tries to stun them up, tries to charm them up. Finds several, but will pay for that one with his life, but Ambition still playing forward. Look for the lockdown here. On to the Mundo. They get him in the end. That's going to be a 2-for-1 going over to Gen G. Tempt limps his way to the back. And now they can maybe turn their sights over onto that Baron.
You can see how counter expectation these team fights are. You see a cannon ult and you think that's the moment. Gen G held onto their CC for a long time. It was QV's autos on the back end that were doing so much as they're ripping through the Baron.
Yeah, they're taking this one down very rapidly.
It's done.
Hail Mary stun steal, not gonna get it. This fight comes down, Ambition walking away. Gen G get the Baron and they start surging forward with this gold lead.
It's very interesting watching both teams understand how champions play a little bit differently in scenarios like this. It's a big disarm and a big ultimate. Vanguard's Edge in a good spot. But all it does is zone. Well held onto, and then the flash ultimate from QV walks up, he's autoing. QV can free auto, and that's the big win here is that while Ruler can only auto one person in front of him, QV free autos, and he's the extra 80 carry and damage his team needs.
Couldn't get the pops on the Guardian Angels. Would have liked that as a bit of an extra little prize for Gen G. So Tempt and Ghost both still going to be having those in their arsenal, but man, QV's damage coming through there. 6,000 in that last team fight.
Trick hasn't been spotted, he's around the back. This was a 1-3-1 attempt.
Double TP's coming through.
It was a 1-3-1 attempt. Now they're trying to rush through the straight and narrow, but Core JJ doesn't have flash, so engage here very unlikely.
Nor does QV. Fly does, if he can find a multi-man taunt coming through, but like the likelihood of a fight here is going to be pretty small. Infernal Drake's up, so Gen G going to be happy to go ahead and snatch that one up for themselves.
Attacks come in. Kennen, since the last time we saw him, does have the attack speed burst on the Lightning Rush now. When you come out of the E, the Lightning Rush, you do get quite a lot of attack speed, which synergizes well with the Rage Blade and the general AD build he's going. Fly walks up the side. We haven't really seen a big hero's entrance this game, or any dancing, so in both ways. Apart from locking in the Birdie skin, he's let us down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like it. Inner turret gonna fall here. Genji still have a minute and a half left on this Baron buff. Tempt into the backside.
If you can get either of the auto attackers, it'd be really big. The disarm has massive value against this team.
Cube trying to check, throws down that control ward. He'll get rooted, but that's going to be about it. Finding onto core JJ, but Ruler actually saving the control ward, pushing Tempt back.
But we haven't really seen a team that disarm is stronger against two auto-attacking threats, so Vanguard's Edge is actually a game changer if it's perfect.
Shitty Corruption looking to come through, but not going to find the hit. Out of range there. Tempt's going forward, double stun, but no real follow-up to be found.
Sin big carries from Morgana Black Shield on Aatrox and Aurelia, but it's not a carry Morgana, so the Black Shield's a lot lower in terms of the damage. They can sustain through, and Cube just split pushing a plenty.
I mean, he's the one who doesn't give any windows in this matchup here. Tower down in the bot side, tower down in mid, Trick up in the front line, will get caught, will get taken out as Ruler finds the kill. Now Inhibitor going to be targeted down. Maybe. This is BBQ actually just losing out onto both of them. Placing Maelstrom out from Cube, going to lock down Tempt, looking to pop that Guardian Angel. Redemption comes through, but he can't even bounce back to step it if he gets a heal. Just has to go back to the fountain. In the meantime, it's going to be Ghost losing out on his Guardian Angel, and Genji just wants to go ahead and close out the game right here. They get the lockdown. Ruler finds another kill. 8-5 at the moment, as they do manage to take down Cube. Hero's entrance from Fly, not going to be enough to save him, but the Nexus turrets are down. The Nexus is exposed. In about 36 minutes, Genji will take out game one here against BBQ. They look pretty good at the start, but they can't keep it together. Genji walks away